Thank you, Wendy. It's so good to be asked back, and I wanted to thank Compade and ITMPI for inviting me to speak about knowledge management. Today, we're going to think about capturing expertise no matter where you are in your organization, and about how to be a partner in corporate knowledge management. So no matter where you are, you can be a partner in capturing information that's critical to keeping your organization functioning, succeeding, and innovating into the future. When you're thinking about knowledge management, the world and information is moving so quickly that it's important to scan not only what you need to preserve today, but what will be relevant for tomorrow. And that goes back to my earlier remark about how the latest book evolved as I really started to look at this issue of who is an expert and what do we need to capture. So being flexible and thinking about continuous learning is the core of knowledge management in a knowledge-based economy. So when you've found what's important today and considered what you might need tomorrow, you can find experts in your midst who you need for knowledge capture. Knowledge management in a knowledge-based economy comes down to four things: identifying today's important knowledge, identifying knowledge that you will need tomorrow, finding and working with the experts for knowledge capture for present and future needs, and making all of this part of your thinking for long-term growth and strategic advantage in your industry. So before we start, I wanted to ask some questions. In fact, I would very much like to ask questions throughout, and I really encourage give and take. You have chat boxes. Can everyone see them? I think it's going to be to your right and down in that right-hand lower corner. I'm going to ask questions, and if people want to respond in the chat, that would be great. I think Wendy explained that you're all on mute, so that's going to be our communication vehicle. And I'll be keeping an eye on the chat, and so will Wendy, and hopefully we'll catch what goes on. So I really encourage you to answer some questions because I'm very curious about where you're at so I can adjust my remarks. So before we start, first of all, who is working with experts today in your organization? Who's working with experts to gather and to catalog your corporate knowledge? Do we have people on the call who are doing this right now in their organizations? Is anybody dealing with this right now? Have you in the past? Have you done this? Have you had to capture knowledge in the past and catalog it, keep it for the future, for training, for any kind of informational requirements? I'm looking to see for CMMI reviews. Okay, yes, I'm seeing. Okay, good, thank you. Anybody planning to do this soon? Is it on somebody's agenda, but they haven't gotten around to it yet? Okay, good. Okay, I'll go to the next slide. And who is an expert anyway? Well, identifying knowledge is a continuous knowledge management process. So as you are growing and learning and innovating and bringing on new people, you constantly change what you know, and you constantly change what you need to know. So the people who know what you need are always changing too. So the first few books that I wrote were about retiring experts and working with experts who already have extensive knowledge in your company. And as I started to explore the pace of change in this year's book on retaining expert knowledge, it became clear to me that today's experts can't fit into that traditional paradigm. With knowledge doubling about every year or two, according to most calculations, it challenges any one human to remain an expert for very long. Expertise today is about two things. Those with a lot of experience who know you, they know your company, they know your products, they know your processes, and they also know their own specialty extremely well. But the other kind of expert is those they have current knowledge, but that knowledge moves at the speed of light. Today's experts need new skills that allow them to keep pace with the change. So it's often not what they know in a proprietary way, but rather today's experts, and I'm calling them NextGen experts, are anybody who knows how to figure out what's most important and then how to access what they need to know, and they know how to apply it to help you do what you're doing today. So for anybody who's working with experts, is there anyone working with someone who we would call a NextGen expert, as I've just described it? Can you relate to what I'm saying about NextGen experts? And I'm going to, something that I didn't originally have in my presentation, but I'm going to add it in. That slide is a picture of my son. And I went to a panel discussion last night. He was a member of a panel near Philadelphia. And it was a diversity panel on inclusion at an IT company, big IT company in suburban Philadelphia. And it was interesting that the panelists were, for example, my son is deaf. He has a cochlear implant, so he has specific things he brings. He's also getting his PhD in computer science, so he's developed apps and he's done some startups and things like that. There were also people on the panel who were low vision. There was someone else who just did a lot of cultural diversity around the world in terms of marketing. And as I was watching their presentation last night, I realized how much it's like this one, that the knowledge and the information that we need today is so different than what we thought of as knowledge even 10 years ago. Things are really moving very quickly. So finding and capturing knowledge doesn't happen by accident. It's very purposeful and it's deliberate. That came very clear last night as we were talking about product design, when you're talking about low vision people or people who have, for example, when you're deaf and you have a hearing aid, you need to make sure that you're in a quiet place so you can hear people and talk to people, and how that affects the way that company holds meetings, for example. So I found that NextGen experts really is very much thinking in a diverse way about who's in your organization and also about who your customers are. So having said that, is anyone working with NextGen experts? Okay. So this is the model that I built to find retiring experts. So I needed to update this thinking to fully embrace the new view of expertise. But to review, traditionally, one would look in these places to find the people in your organization who know the most about it, and that especially included people who have been there the longest. And this is still valid, but we need to expand the thinking to realize that where we're going is not where we've been, and that knowledge in the future won't look anything like the past. So as you can see, this chart is looking for experts in a very hierarchical and a very traditional way.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year. But if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.